time log settings in time tracker module. So before we understand the various settings and restrictions that you can have with the time log option, let's first see as an employee how to create a time log in the system, and then we'll move on to the settings option. So for an employee to create a time log, we need to navigate to the time tracker module. From the left panel of your screen, click on the time tracker module, and under my data, there you have an option called time log. So there are two different methods for you to submit a time log in the system. The first option is using a timer. So you have a timer here. So any time logs that you would like to submit on a real-time basis. For example, if you're going to start working on a job right now, you add a time log using the timer option. That is, you can select all of the information here, like clients, projects, jobs, work items, and you start the timer. Once you start the timer, system starts calculating the time. And once you're done with the job, you can stop the timer. So the time between the start time and the stop time will be considered as the number of hours. This is one way to do it. The other option to submit a time log is manually submitting a time log. What if you have already done a job in past, probably in the morning, but you have not added the time log? In such scenario, you cannot use the timer option. So what you can do is, you can click on this button called log time. It is just like a form. So again, you're going to fill in all the information. Write a description if you want. And then you can mention the number of hours. So you can either say total number of hours, like I have worked on this job for 30 minutes, or you can mention the start and end time. Like I have worked on this job between 10:30 a.m. in the morning to 11. So it's up to the employee to choose between these options. So they can either use total hours, start and end time, or you can also use the timer option. So instead of enabling the timer in the list view page, you can click on log time and still you can make use of the timer option. So you can fill in all the information, add an attachment if required, click on save. And if there are more time logs for a particular day, so one is added, you are going to follow the same step. Click on log time, fill in the information and then submit. Instead of doing this, if you click on this drop down, we have an option called daily log. It is just like a tabular view. So when you click on daily log, so this is how it looks like. For every time log that you're going to add, you can simply click on the option add row. Or if you're going to add a time log for one complete week, you can go with the option weekly log. So there are also other options such as semi-monthly log or monthly log. So right now I'm stopping the timer. So if you can see, it calculates the time interval between the start time and the end time. So this is how employees will submit time logs in the system. So now let's see what are the various settings and restrictions that you can have. In order to access those options, we need to navigate to settings, time tracker, and under configuration, the first option that we see here is called time logs. So the first setting that we have here is time logging methods. So what are the different methods that you're going to provide your employees in terms of submitting a time log? So there is this option of entering total hours, entering the start and end time. So the first two options are manual methods of adding a time log. The last option is about using the timer. So you can say I don't want my employees to add time logs manually. So you can enable the option using a timer to start and stop the recording. So this is about the options through which employees can add time log in the system. And then we have two more options here. So it is an employee's responsibility to add a time log on a daily basis or weekly basis. However, if you feel that employees might miss submitting time logs in the system, you can set up a reminder. So we have this option here called to remind employees to log time. You can add reminders. Just click on this option reminders. You will be taken to a page where you can add reminders. Click on add reminder. You can set up a reminder name. And reminders can be set for both time logs and also for timesheets. So you can select time logs and the frequency. So how often you want system to remind your employees to submit a time log. So you can do it on a daily, weekly or monthly basis. So when I say daily basis, the next option is process data for. So should the reminder be triggered based on time log submitted for the current day or based on time log submitted for previous day? So you can use any of these options listed here. And at what time you want the reminders to be sent. Let's take the reminder should be sent at 6 p.m. So every day at 6 p.m. you want a reminder to be shared with your employees. And based on what condition? There are two different conditions for you to choose from. The first option is have not logged time, which means if there are no time logs available for a particular employee, then reminder will get triggered. The second option is have logged less than, let's say, 5 hours. So in this case, reminder email will be shared with the employees only if their time log hours is less than 5 hours. So you can choose from any one of this condition. And the last part, you're going to set up the applicable to. So who are all the list of employees who will be receiving this time log reminder? So you do have multiple options to choose from. And the reminder email will go to the employee. In addition to the employee, you can also share it with the concerned reporting manager and also with selected employees. For example, the HR person or the project managers. So particular employees can also be selected. And once all of these settings are done, you can click on save. So you can add any number of reminder configuration, probably the first reminder to get triggered at 6 p.m. in the evening and another reminder to get triggered at 8 p.m. So you can add any number of reminders. So let's go back to the settings part. So configuration, time logs. So the first is about reminders. Then we have one more option here. To validate timer entries, add IP and geo restrictions. So this IP restriction and geo restriction is only for timer entries. That is, if an employee is going to submit a time log using the timer option, you can have a restriction called IP and geo restriction. So let's click on IP, which is nothing but click on IP restriction. You can add a from and to IP range over here. That is, whenever an employee is submitting a time log, they must be connected to an IP range between this from and to IP address. Only then system will be allowing them to start the timer. In the same way, you can also have geo restrictions. So switch to the geo restriction option. You can click on add geo restriction. This is nothing but you can specifically mark a geo range, probably your office premises. Click on add and you can look for a particular location here. So you can mark a 50 meters or 100 meters radius and you can save. So what happens is an employee will be able to submit a time log using the timer option only when they are available within this geo range. So these are all the two restrictions that you can have only in case of employee submitting a time log using the timer option. These two restrictions will not be effective if they are submitting a time log using the manual log time option. Let's go back to the configuration part. So this is about time logging methods. So what are the different methods an employee can use to submit a time log, and what about setting reminders and having the IP and geo restriction? The next options are do not allow time logs for. You don't want your employees to submit a time log if it's a weekend or if they have applied for leave or if it's a public holiday. If that is the case, you can enable the options over here. So I don't want my employees to submit a time log for a past date or if it is a weekend. You can enable these conditions. And the next option is about time entry overlap. So what should be the system's response if there is an overlap of entries? Let's take this example. I'm creating a time log for 10:30 to 11 a.m. in the morning. And I'm trying to create one more time log for 10:30 to 11:30. So here there is an overlap detected. In this case, what should be the system's response? So you can either restrict or you can allow. So when you click on allow, system will not restrict an employee from submitting a time log even if there is an overlap. Or you can give this option, warn employees with a precautionary message. That is, whenever there is an overlap of time logs, they click on submit, system throws an error message stating there is an overlap of entries, but still they can ignore and submit the time log. So that is about allow but warn. But when you click on restricted, they cannot submit a time log. And the next option we have is called limit maximum billable hours. So we'll enable it. So let's say I'm having a condition that in one day, an employee can submit only 8 hours of billable logs. Billable time logs are nothing but whenever an employee is submitting a time log for a billable job, it will be considered as a billable time log. So the restriction that we set here is only for billable time logs and not for non-billable time logs. So when you enable the restriction for per day, so I say 8 hours. You can also enable overtime. So 8 hours will be the regular working. I can click on allow overtime. I can say the next 2 hours the employee is going to work will be considered as overtime. And if they are exceeding the overtime hours, the next 2 hours will be considered as extended overtime. And you can also mark consider weekend as overtime. That is, whenever an employee is submitting a time log on a weekend, automatically it will be considered as overtime, irrespective of the fact if they are working for more than 8 hours or not. And they will have an option to submit a time log on a weekend only if the restrictions are not enabled. And next, we have restrictions related to limit time logs within estimated hours. So whenever you create a job and assign a job to an employee, you can specify the estimated hours, which is nothing but within how many number of hours the employee has to complete this particular job. Let's revisit the job option. So we'll go to operations, and from operations, you need to access the time tracker module. Jobs. Click on add job or try to edit an existing job. So under the user section, we have this option called hours. So here, if I'm going to assign 30 minutes to this user Irtifa to complete this job, this is called the estimated hours. So the restriction that we have here tells that limit time logs within estimated hours. That is, if an employee is assigned 30 minutes to complete a job, the employee cannot add a time log for more than 30 minutes, provided the restriction is enabled. And the next option is about limit time logs within 24 hours. So you don't want your employees to submit time logs for more than 24 hours in a day. So this is including both billable and non-billable time logs. And then we have this option, restrict time logs within attendance hours. So this has a relevance with the total number of working hours in the attendance module. Let's see this example. So the total working hours of an employee is 5 hours in the attendance module. And if this restriction is enabled, the employee will not be able to add time logs for more than 5 hours. So that is about this option, restrict time logs within attendance hours. And then we have restrict time logs with no duration. This scenario will happen when an employee is using a timer. So they click on the timer, like they start the timer and they stop the timer immediately. In that case, the total number of hours will be 0. So you don't want system to record a time log when the total hours is 0. You can enable this condition. And the last condition we have here is restrict time log entries if, let's first explore the first condition. Time log date is not within job start date and end date. So let's say we have a job in the system which starts on 1st of July and ends on 15th of July, which is a start and end date. According to the first condition, it says that if the time log date is not within the start and end date, you cannot submit a time log. So an employee is adding a time log in the system, telling that the time log date, that is, I have worked on 16th of July on this particular job. The employee will not be able to submit it because 16th of July is outside the window of job start date and end date. This is the first condition. Then we have the next condition. The present date is not within job start date and end date. Let's take the same example where the job starts on 1st July, ends on 15th July. An employee is trying to submit a time log stating that I have worked on 10th of July for 30 minutes. But the employee is submitting this time log only on 30th of July. System will throw an error because even though the time log date is within the job start and end date, the date when the employee is submitting the time log is outside the window. So this is about the conditions, time log date and present date. And these two conditions will only work if start and end date is present when you are creating a job. So these are all the few restrictions that we have. And then we have settings related to permissions. So the first is about time intervals of timer logs can be edited or deleted by. So once an employee submits a time log using the timer option, will they have an option to edit those entries? The option to edit will be provided to them based on what you select here. And then we have time log fields customization. When an employee is submitting a time log manually, so let's just quickly go to the employee view, time tracker module, click on log time. So we have a form here with a list of fields, client name, project name, job name. So you can customize this page using the option time log fields. So if you don't want client name to be mandatory, you can remove, or you don't want client name to be displayed in the time log form, you can uncheck the option show. You can also rename the terms. So instead of work item, you would like to have a different term, you can do it. So this option helps you to customize the time log form in the system. And then we have few preferences. The first one is about default billing status. So when you create a job, you will have to mention the billing status, whether it is billable or non-billable. However, this option is not mandatory. So if you are creating a job without mentioning the status, whatever option that you select here will be considered as default billable status. And then default time log list view display. So when I go to an employee's view, timesheet, time logs, the default view is weekly. I'm able to see the time log submitted for this particular view. However, you can change this default view to monthly or daily. And then we have track time log location. So whenever an employee is submitting a time log, you want to know from which location they are submitting their time logs. You can go with this option. And at last, we have the setting called default work item. Again, when you're creating a job, you will have an option to provide work items. However, adding a work item is not mandatory. So if work items are missing in a particular job, whatever work item you mention under default work item will be mapped to those jobs. So these are all the few settings and restrictions that we have for time log option in the time tracker module.